GCSEs, you have so many subjects to revise and the textbooks can be quite complex, so a good idea is to use revision guides. Find a good revision guide that is tailored to your specification and use that to help you as you make notes. Revision guides are quite good because they tell you what you need to know. They can be quite useful for the visual learner because they tend to be more colourful than the actual textbooks and they really hit those points on the specification. Speaking of the specification, this is a document from the exam board telling you exactly what you need to learn for any of your exams. You should find one that is specifically for your exam board and tick off those points as you learn it in class, so you know that you've been taught everything that you need to know. Sometimes your teacher may not have time to go through all the topics in class, and you need to know every single topic on that spec. My advice is to turn the specification into a personal checklist. So when you make your notes, you can tick things off as you go and have rest of mind that you have covered everything. Use different learning techniques to make revision more interesting for you. Let's be honest, when you're going through the same thing over and over again, it can be quite boring. So for one subject, you can make notes, and then for another subject, you can make flashcards, and then for another subject, you can make mind maps and colourful diagrams. This is such a great thing to do if you're in year 10 or maybe even in year 9 and you're just starting out your GCSEs and things aren't too stressful. You can start making different revision resources for yourself to use in year 11. So when you're at school, in class, try to make your notes as your teacher explains things. Don't listen to people that tell you that GCSEs aren't serious, because they are. After a while, you have to start being a bit selfish and block people out who aren't serious or who make fun of you for trying to get your grades 7, 8s and 9s. You see, when you learn something really well for the first time, it really sticks in your brain, so pay attention as that will make it easier when you come to revise it later in year 11. Identify your weak points and give yourself enough time to work on them. If you find that you're falling behind or getting low grades in a certain subject, that doesn't mean you're bad at that subject, it just means you need to spend more time in making it one of your best ones. So see if your teacher can hold extra revision sessions for you. If you find that other people are struggling too, then you guys don't have to suffer alone. Organize group sessions so that you can tackle it together. One of the best ways to practice your exam technique is through past papers, and lots of them. They are so useful. When you do a practice paper, you can mark it and give yourself a grade, but even then, what matters more is that you compare your answer to that of the mark scheme and see whether you're getting those keywords and where you're missing out on marks and where you're making silly mistakes. And silly mistakes are so annoying because they can really add up. By doing past papers under timed conditions, you can get used to answering questions. You can print off past papers and go through them as you would go through a real exam. And if you want to do that, there are loads to print out. So I found it helpful to print mine off side by side so as to save paper. And of course, you could just answer questions from your computer screen. If you are struggling to know what to revise, then a good idea is to make a revision timetable. It's so useful because it will tell you what you need to revise and when you need to revise that subject, which helps a lot with keeping you organized. I always think that timetables should be dynamic and not stiff. You can't expect to have the same exact revision timetable from September through to May. That being said, it's wiser to spend some time at the beginning of each week to plan what you're going to be revising in your revision schedule. You can use the Student Boss revision timetable that's based on the Pomodoro technique, which allows you to be more flexible. Perhaps if it was your main aim to do all your maths exercises last week, and you've accomplished that, then in the next week you can give yourself less time for maths and more time for another subject like French. You can find it in the description box down below. Find a good tidy space to revise and make it your own. If at home, it could be your bedroom on a desk. If you don't have much space to revise at home, you can go to your nearest library or stay after school so that you have that space to do work. Thank Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys would like more GCSE stuff, let me know by leaving it in the comments down below. And hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. Study smart and live productively like a student boss.